Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between Romantic versus Michael. This game taking place here on Echo Isle. Over here on the top left hand side of the map we have Michael spawning as the yellow undead going up against Romantic, also known as Fortitude. Don't know which name he is choosing for the day, but let's just go ahead and say he is Romantic over here on the top right hand side of the map. Romantic here going to be opening up with Altar of King's Barracks Farm to finish off the semi-wall in, making it difficult for the undead to be able to, making it difficult for him to just try and push on in here. Echo Isle, not my favorite map, just because of, well, just because of the strange games that you end up getting. Sometimes you get games where, well, especially on this map, you don't really often go above 50 supply, just because the limited resources, the close confinement, and it's almost like you're personally losing 3 gold a second, since gold is just so difficult to keep on this map and to use it and use it wisely. If a player does go above tier or go above 50 supply, it doesn't stay that way for very long, because you're just forced to try and battle up against your opponent. And if your opponent has home field advantage, well, it is just that much more difficult to come out ahead. We are looking Acolyte, well, still getting trained up here. This is the 6th Acolyte, which will be a scouting Acolyte in this human versus undead matchup. Archmage, no surprise here. Mountain King would have been a, well, reasonable choice, as well as we are getting up what seems to be an arcane tower in just a moment. What is going to be going down here? Peasants, well, working as we are getting up the Archmage. We should be getting up a footman down here. Are we going to be calling militia to arms? Only 2 militia being called down, and this is because we're only going after this Null Brute Creek camp. All right, Water Elemental going to be absorbing a little bit of damage here, trying to add up more damage once more, perhaps going to make its way down here, aggro these units, and then pull back. And what is going on here? The Crypt Lord going for double Sacrificial Skull and Rod of Necromancy means that it could be trying to go for an expansion attempt. All right, Undead going for an expansion attempt early on Echo Isles would surprise me, just because of how not economic, how you don't often very have economic battles here, especially as an undead player. Is it just going to get punished very quickly by Romantic? Archmage making its way down here, perhaps going to drop a Water Elemental here, try and get to level 2, and then once it gets to, well, or is he going to set up an expansion of his own, and then both players are just going to blow my prediction out of the water by going into low upkeep early and trying to have a quick battle, dueling it out here. Archmage gets to level 2. Brilliance Aura should already be, come on, train up Brilliance Aura. There you go. There's that Brilliance Aura there, as we should be getting a couple of peasants now. All right, Romantic has a lot of workers. We're looking at 15 workers going up against, well, what will soon be 10 workers. We should be getting up a Necropolis here, or just training up of Acolytes here. Archmage coming across Footmen. That is a very wide army. Does the Crypt Lord have the Scroll of Healing? No, he does not. Do we have Arcane Towers here? We do not. One is currently trying to be built, and this is going to be incredibly important as one beetle quickly gets taken down. All right, Ghoul is trying to back away. Archmage seeing that level 2. There's an Abolish Magic as the units are going to try and engage again. Here you are, Skeletal Minions popping up out of the ground, and both sides are trying to set up their expansion. And what is this? Here's that second Blight as Militia, well, trying to join in here. All right, massive repairs. The Town Hall taking a lot of damage, but it looks like so many ghouls are going to end up getting lost here, as the Crypt Lord unable to, well, no, able to finish it off. I did not think that was going to be possible. Did we have a cancellation there? Archmage almost at level 3. The Crypt Lord sitting at level 2. Was that just a cancel? Human can build on Blight, and we are going to get some fast repairs right there as the Archmage pushes back the other way. All right, interesting call right there. Crypt Lord of Michael opting to put pressure at his opponent's expansion, really more as a way to buy time for his own expansion to be able to pull the economic advantage there. town hall already about halfway done. Speed building with 6 peasants does make it incredibly fast, as the Archmage still wants to get up to level 3. Meanwhile, Footman and Archmage joining on the fight here. Are we going to see a steal? No, we are not. Footman could be in trouble once again, as the Crypt Lord does buy Boots of Speed. He does have Impale. I don't know if that Impale will be heavily used or not, as we're seeing more damage getting added in. All right, Force Troll Berserker getting taken down. Crypt Lord still sitting at level 2, as the Archmage needs to back away. Romantic really just trying to get his expansion up and operational. Meanwhile, well, Michael already has his expansion up and running. Unit's going to try and retreat back here. Both the Archmage and the Crypt Lord just shy of level 3. Archmage much more so, as we're looking at a little bit of damage getting added in. Whoever gets the level 3 is going to have a major advantage. Those beetles at level 2 or that water elemental at level 2 represent a very decent power, or a decent power spike overall, as the Crypt Lord now looks to back away again. All right. It looks as though Michael is just constantly checking, hey, Romantic, are you clearing out that Ogre Lord or Ogre Mauler yet? And they're just going back and forth and saying, I'm not. I'm too afraid of you. Are you doing it? No, I'm too afraid of it as well, as the Archmage is purposely not dropping water elementals because it wants to get the additional benefit of that level 3 water elemental right there, or level 3 before getting that water elemental. This actually could turn into a little bit of a mistake here. Are we going to see the Crypt Lord pick up a Tome of Strength +2, a free bit of experience right there, and that is a very big deal. All right. So all of a sudden, Michael's army is looking very strong right now. Are we going to see an Impale? Nope, no Impale. Arcane Tower just feeding back some of that damage, as there's the Impale picking up some of those peasants. And, well, are we going to see that Crypt Lord get to level 3? Meanwhile, where is the Archmage? Archmage is over at the shop trying to buy something, buying Boots of Speed, and being forced to run all the way back home. And that Archmage is finally at level 3, but so out of position. So out of position that he is unable to join in on the fight, really. Going after a ghoul, finishing off a retreating ghoul right there, that is going to be a little bit of a benefit. 38 supply compared to 37, as the Archmage should be dropping water elementals now. Not quite sure why it's not doing that. It is already at level 3, dropping in some water elementals, perhaps going to try and finish off some of those ghouls, as those ghouls are taking a little bit of damage already. Down to 200 damage here. That water elemental, if it was dropped off over here, could have perhaps gotten in a little bit more damage again, as the ghouls were running by. All right. Not as strong Impale there. Archmage now trying to chase back the other bay. Also has a Scroll of Regeneration. Crypt Lord quickly removing that Clarity Potion from that Archmage, but the Archmage with Brilliance Aura should have no problem whatsoever. Level 3 on both heroes after a little bit of not leveling, as we are going into, well, perhaps a developing of the banks. 47 supply going up against 40 right now. We should be seeing a very heavy investment into tech. I am surprised. Undead, well, getting up that Death Knight as that second hero, and we'll see if he gets one Obsidian statue as well. Obsidian statue going to be incredibly important, as the Murlocs are coming over, well, getting in a little bit of extra damage, pulling all of that aggro, allowing the Spirit Tower and the Nerubian Tower to battle it through as well. Archmage gonna go ahead and aggro the Ogre Warrior creep camp. Are we gonna see a Mountain King join in on the fight? Yes, we are, as we are teching the tier 3 already. Teching the tier 3. 47 supply compared to 47. Are we going to be getting Priest, or are we going, Arcane Sanctum, perhaps for some spell breakers as well, as we eventually move away from all of these footmen. Death Coil does get the steal right there. Death Knight has double potions of mana, going to give some to that Crypt Lord, perhaps for some additional impales. Tome of Agility going to be an easy pickup once again, as apparently they're not going to be leaving that alone, or they're going to leave it alone for a little bit, as the Force Troll Trappers get cleaned up here. Couple of, ghouls and beetles causing a bit of death and destruction over here at the expansion. No guard towers, only an arcane tower here, allowing the ghouls to get in a lot more damage than you would normally expect. All right, ghouls trying to back away. Are we going to see another death of a ghoul? Yes. Or another peasant? Yes, we are. As Scroll of Regeneration repairing all of these units again. Mountain King could try and Stormbolt. Nope, doesn't even bother really, as the ghouls are just retreating back once more. All right, two more shots. One more shot needed. Final death to that ghoul. 49 supply compared to 43. Undead no longer in low upkeep. Coming back around, we are getting up a slaughterhouse here. Halls of the Dead, taking to tier 3. We are going into Black Citadel. Both players still trying to stay in no upkeep for as long as they possibly can, as the Crypt Fiends of the Death Knight trying to retreat back over here to the bottom left. The pacing of the game just seems a little bit off and awkward to me. Both sides not really playing the same style that I would expect to see. And we've gotten to the end game. It is Crypt Fiends, Obsidian Statues, and Eventual Destroyers. But maybe because it's on Echo Isle, the tempo and the pacing just seems all a little bit off. A big impale going down onto the Archmage. Archmage trying to break his way free, not going to be able to do so very easily. Water Elemental gets finished off, giving level 4 to the Archmage. Mountain King gonna try and get to level 2 here. We'll see if Romantic finally reads a tome. Yes, he does. Apparently, health is worth it, but not Tome of Strength +2. As the Archmage, Mountain King gonna pick up that Claws of Attack +5. All right, one Spellbreaker, a whole bunch of Footmen, and Romantic's investment into Footmen may come back to haunt him, as they are just going to be prime targets for Impale and Death Coils for a little while longer. We are getting up to a Lich. We are looking at Michael sitting at tier 2. And, we are now also looking at Romantic sitting at, not tier 2, tier 3, but now sitting at low upkeep. Workshop gonna get some flying machines up into the air as quickly as possible as well. We are getting in Sundering Blades, Knights. No animal war training as of yet to try and deal with those Crypt Fiends, but there are going to be destroyers to deal with as well. 66 supply compared to 67. We are going into low upkeep on both sides. With that said, I would be extremely surprised if we went into high upkeep by either of these players here for any extended period of time. Mountain King sitting at level 2. Are we getting up a Paladin? No, we are not. Paladin is already out onto the field. There he is. Paladin out onto the field already. There are a couple of Footmen out onto the battlefield, but are those Footmen just going to end up? Thank you for the subscription. Definitely helps out. Yeah, a lot of subs today. Thank you very much. Helps me pay the bills, as we're looking at the flying machines now making their way over. Shout out to all of you guys out there who also subscribe to me when I'm not casting, because I have more subscribers than people subscribe during the actual Twitch stream. So thank you, all you YouTube subscribers who still subscribe to my channel on Twitch. It definitely encourages me and to continue to produce more content. 71 supply compared to 69. It looks like Michael's going to try and, put in a little bit of pressure here. Or is he actually going to try and clear out this orange creep camp? This orange creep camp, which is almost a red creep camp, but it could have a potential creep jack situation, as the flying machines are going to be able to give a little bit of sight. All right, coming into an engagement here, we are looking at Lich. Does have a, Orb of Corruption, Death Knight with a Ring of Regeneration, Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and also a Scroll of Healing. Has plenty of heal, and it's just going to come down to who is going to be able to engage faster. That level 1 Lich is very scary with plus 19 damage, almost a critical strike, and at level 1, as that damage is going to get added up right there. All right, Frost Nova finishing off that handful of Footmen, couple of webs going down as well, as a Ghoul gets stunned, trading a Footman for Ghouls there. Crippler could try and land another Impale as well, does not do so, as we're going to see an eventual transition from Footmen into Knights. Trying to get into position here. Obsidian Statue going to go ahead and pull back. We are looking at a Beetle trying to escape. Orb of Fire coming in from the Archmage will make healing a bit difficult, but well, with how tight the battlefield is here on Echo Isle, will that Archmage be constantly in position? Let's go ahead and engage. We are looking at, anti-magic shell being used onto the Crypt Lord. Abomination's Crypt Fiend's able to get in a little bit of damage, and it looks like Romantic is just trying to line things up before he tries to defend here. 75 supply compared to 80. A big battle indeed, as that Abomination is in that front line. All right, a little bit of damage. Are we going to see a Thunderclap? Thunderclap across the center does slow down a large number of Crypt Fiends, as the Crypt Lord is still okay in that front line spot. Little bit of damage retreating back here. Not enough web to slow down all of these flying machines, as the destroyers are down to 200 hit points, and now needs to be careful. A beautiful impale across the majority of the army. However, a scroll of healing counteracting right there, as the Crypt Lord uses a scroll of Town Portal, which seemed a bit premature. Was that premature? One low hit point Crypt Fiend, that was it. Death Knight could Death Coil that, save that back up. The Crypt Lord seemed to be in such good position to land another impale. I don't know if that was really necessary. Death Knight could get 400 hit point heal on that Crypt Fiend right there, back up to 550 hit points already. And what is going to be the follow-up play? Death Knight with that Ring of Regeneration, so much more difficult to finish off, as Unholy Aura and Ring of Regeneration, the really ways to keep that Death Knight alive. If you try and focus it, the Death Knight just runs around the map, moving a little bit faster with a little bit of regen. And all of a sudden, the rest of your army is dead, as the Crypt Fiends and the Banshees and the Destroyers target everything else. Over here to the bottom right, we're looking at, Paladin trying to get to level 2 here. Do we have a Staff of Sanctuary? We do. It is on the Archmage, and the Gargantuan Sea Turtle is just not falling. The Footmen are not in that front line, and the Spellbreakers are actually within melee range, which is bad news. Archmage could be in trouble. Stormbolt onto the Crypt Lord. We could be using the Scroll of Town Portal to get out of there. Yes, that's exactly what happens, as, all of those units are going to be retreating back, but they are on the north side of this Town Hall. All right, units could be engaging here. Flying machines trying to re-engage once more, and here we are into an engagement. Knight, was that possessed? It is a possessed Knight. Knight flipping allegiance there, finally going into high upkeep a bit on accident. 82 over 80 supply, as the Banshees, possessed a Knight. All right, that is going to be a little bit of a problem if all of a sudden Banshees are traded for Knights. That is going to be a problem, as the Knights are needed to help deal with those Crypt Fiends. And with the Crypt Fiends able to freely web down all of those units, that could be a problem indeed. All right, continuing the battle it up here. Banshee, Staff of Sanctuary, saving another unit. Paladin, Mountain King in that frontline spot. Level 2 Thunderclap trying to slow things down, but there are mortar teams in the back being able to lob attacks, as the Banshees are getting taken down in the back. Another beautiful Thunderclap, as that Mountain King tries to slow down the entire army. Stormbolt onto the Lich, not going to really matter all that much. Impale onto the Mountain King. Mountain King has a potion of healing, potion of mana, and goes in for another Thunderclap again. Could try and turn back around. Stormbolt, Holy Light trying to save that Mountain King again. As we're still seeing the damage getting added up slowly but surely. More mortar teams. There's another Holy Light, Death Coil, Frost Nova. So much focus onto that Mountain King, as a Stormbolt going to go down once more. Thunderclap could try and slow things down once again. 68 supply compared to 78. The mortar teams dealing damage from the back, and all of those fragmentation shards are just adding damage over time so consistently, as the Archmage is making it difficult. The Orb of Fire making it difficult to heal any other units if the Archmage wants to focus it down. 70 supply compared to 84. Undead going back into high upkeep, looking to finish things off. 68 supply now, as the pressure is starting to mount. Knights. Knights switching allegiance. I don't know if that was that same earlier Knight, but switching all the way back again, as this Knight is right here, 1-0 upgraded. Yeah, I think that was that earlier Knight. 1-0 upgrade on that Knight again. What game speed to do pros? Well, I don't think you get to choose on ladder play. It's just normal, right? This isn't WarCraft or StarCraft 2 that actually has fast and all of that. Thank you for the follow. Abomination in that frontline spot here. We're looking at Arcane Sanctum getting destroyed. Crypt Fiends, well, pushing in pressure. Knight being forced to back up, retreat once again, as the Arcane Tower is still feeding back a little, or trying to do a little bit of damage. That Crypt Fiend finally outside of range. Romantic being forced to fight in positions that he isn't really quite ready for. All of those Crypt Fiends are rather exposed, and well, that Knight, is it going to get possessed once more? It looks like nope, Staff of Sanctuary is going to go ahead and save that Knight from being possessed as it tries to run around again. All right. Knights still wandering around in the back again. Staff of Sanctuary saving a Knight from being possessed. Perhaps the best use right there. Instead of your opponent gaining a Knight and you losing one, you get to save your Knight. Death Knight, Crippler going to continue to engage again. Pretty sure you can switch to normal or slow options in game. I think ladder is always played on the same game speed. All right, gonna go ahead and try to back up here. Knight getting surrounded once more. Knight should have Sundering Blades. A big Frost Nova across multiple units there. Knight gonna finally get taken down as more Holy Light coming back into position here. More Mortar teams just getting in all of that fragmentation shards. And Romantic with very large damage, able to finally zone out his opponent right there. Death Knight, Crypt Fiends, Abomination, Lich, Cryptlord very close to level 5. Main gold mines, only 2 minutes of mining left. 3 minutes here as Romantic was unable to keep that mine fully saturated for a very long time. As we're looking at, well, Flying Machine still scouting out ahead. Somehow, Michael has been able to stay in high upkeep and still be able to trade in a way where he has the supply advantage. Romantic has been spending all of his gold and has still been unable to answer Michael's nearly 100 supply army, currently sitting at 96 over 100. Obsidian statues are right there. Thank you for the follow again, as we're looking at, well, the unit's going to be getting into position once more. Equip web down right there. That's going to be another death. Cryptlord, 3 experience shy. Pretty sure you can switch. Never played ladder. Thanks for that clear. Yeah, ladder game speed is only 1 speed, so yeah. I think back in the day, original StarCraft, you could play at like you could set the fast or fastest, but everyone was just like, no, you got to play on fastest. It just doesn't make sense to play on anything else. Coming back around over here to the top right, Romantic, well, leaving behind his main base pretty much very much exposed. The undead army doesn't have any meat wagons, so they're not very strong at being able to put pressure. What is this? Creep camp available. The starting green creep camp is going to give level 5 to that Crypt Lord. And maybe even level... No, is it going to give level 4 to the Death Knight? I don't think so. 6 experience shy. If the Crypt Lord wasn't there, it would have actually given up another level. Indeed, maybe even the Lich could have leveled up as well, which would have been extremely scary. Yeah, the Lich would have leveled up as well. That 1 green creep camp could have given 5-4-3 if that Crypt Lord, well, did not take that last bit of experience right there. All right, good. There's an engagement. This is not looking good for Romantic. Romantic finally in high upkeep. There's a double level up on that Lich and on that Death Knight as the Crypt Lord landed in some damage. Impales finding the entire back line, slowing them down. Lines are not drawn easily anywhere. Anti-Magic Shell going to reduce a lot of the damage that Thunderclap would do. We need to see some Thunderclaps for those slows, though, as that is important too. Paladin trying to hide in the very far back. He ends up getting taken down. Devotion Aura chosen over Divine Shield. Archmage of Romantic trying to continue to push. 81 supply compared to 59. But I believe this battle is already over and done with. Romantic losing the Archmage and, well, should be losing this game here. Waiting for the GG. Things are just going to go from bad to worse, especially as the Banshees, if they try and possess more units. No, Mountain King gets in another Thunderclap as well, but so many Knights, there are Knights out onto the field who have switched allegiance, and, well, the remaining Knights are just falling as well. All right, more damage getting added in. Mountain King down to 274 hit points, able to retreat away, but there is finally that GG. A lot of the steals right there, and really the score, the difference here was the army size. 102 largest army after a couple of possessions going up against 82, there was a 2,600 gold difference in the amount of gold mined. Romantic actually having mined more gold over time because of that difference. But Michael was able to extend his gold using Banshees to possess knights. That was the big steal or big change right there, as Michael able to steal those knights. I think took 2 to 4. Difficult to keep track, but anytime you lose knights, it is just a heavy investment. And then all of a sudden, your opponent has a very strong, beefy unit that he's using to beat you down as well. Also, Romantic not clearing out his own green creep camp actually ended up becoming, well, the final straw that broke him, as it gave level 5 to the Crypt Lord for a stronger impale, and then pretty much gave level 4 to the Death Knight and level 3 to that Lich for that initial Frost Nova after the impale. And well, that was the tipping point right there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.